Hi everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel Cosmopolitan World. My name is Carlos, and in today's video I would like to give you some advice in order to learn a new language. So let's start. Tip number 1, find a motivation. I personally consider this tip to be the most important and to be the most relevant because this motivation will help you to keep going on learning a new language. I mean, there are plenty of reasons why you might be thinking of learning a new language. Maybe you would like to work or to study abroad, or maybe you just make it for fun because you like traveling and getting in contact with people in the street, for example, or maybe you fell in love with someone and you would like to learn his or her language. So the most important is that you find this motivation. This motivation will help you to remain motivated all the time. Tip number 2, find a method. So once you decide to learn a new language, then you must consider, or you have to think about how you want to learn a new language. I mean, there are a lot of possibilities out there waiting for you. You can, for example, enroll in a course, you can have private lessons with a private teacher at home, for example. And if this is not the case because you don't find any teacher nearby where you live, you might consider hiring an online teacher, for example. And if the money is an issue for you because you think it's too expensive, then I would recommend you to do a research on the internet. I mean, you can find a lot of resources, materials, books, audiobooks, exercises on the internet for free. Just download them and start learning on your own. So it's up to you how you want to learn a new language, but it's really important to keep this in mind. Tip number 3, find a tandem partner. So finding someone with whom you can practice a language regularly is very, very important. So especially if you have the opportunity to get in contact with a native speaker, this will not only help you to learn and to practice a new language, but also to get to know more about the new culture. So I recommend you to do a research on the internet. Maybe there's a club nearby where you live, where people meet regularly to practice, to go for a drink, and obviously to practice languages. If this is not the case, maybe you don't find any club nearby, then you can also try to do a new research, and maybe there is a Facebook group, for example, or something like this, where people with the same interests as you are willing to practice also languages. So it's a very convenient way to practice languages. Tip number 4, be creative. So you have to bear in mind that you learn a new language in order to use it. So there are a lot of possibilities to use a new language in your daily life. For example, you can start by writing your own diary in a new language, or you can write a to-do list for the week, or you can write a shopping list, etc. Whatever you write or whatever you do is really important. Just be creative as much as possible and try to use a new language in your daily life. Tip number 5, listen. So listening is really important. I personally consider that listening will help you to sharpen your ears. What I mean is that you will get used to the way a new language sounds. I know at the beginning it might be really difficult because you will hear sounds that maybe do not exist in your own language, but with the time it will be better. It's just a question of time, and this will also help you later for a better pronunciation. So there are a lot of materials out there on the internet, YouTube. You can also hear podcasts, music on the radio, etc. Just put into practice this exercise and you will see results in no time. Tip number 6, observe. When you learn a new language, you don't only learn how to speak. It is more than this. It involves intonation, gestures, the way to express feelings, etc. So you have to keep in mind that every language has a unique way to express all of this. So that's why I recommend you to observe native speaker and to see how they use, for example, their hands, their head, for example, to express feelings. And this will help you to express yourself more naturally in a new language. So tip number 7, talk to yourself. So it sounds a little crazy, but it really helps. So I recommend you this in case you don't have anyone to practice with. So at home you can speak your ideas out loud, and I'm really sure this exercise will help you to gain more confidence when you have to talk in front of other native speakers. Tip number 8, dare to talk. So there are some people who don't dare to talk in front of others because they are afraid to be criticized by other people, because they think they are not able to have a conversation or they make a lot of mistakes. Let me tell you something. If there are some people who criticize you because you don't speak well, so you have to remember that's not your problem, it's their problem. You're trying to do your best to express yourself in a new language, and let me tell you, it is not easy. So I recommend you to dare to talk with other people, even if you do mistakes, because making mistakes in a new language is quite normal. Even if you have a high level in a new language, or maybe in your own language you make mistakes, so please dare to talk. Tip number 9, be patient. You have to keep in mind that learning a new language is a long way, and it depends on different factors. For example, if you live in a country where the language that you are learning is spoken, then you have more chances to learn it quickly and easier. And even if you live in this country, maybe after some month or after 1 year you don't get along with this, then you have to keep in mind that every language has a certain level of complexity depending on the language that you speak. So for this reason, I can only recommend you to keep going on learning a new language and be patient. Number 10, speak. Speaking is such a great exercise, that's why I'm doing this video. I highly recommend you to speak as much as possible with other people, especially with foreigners. And even if you don't have this possibility, you can start talking to yourself at home, for example, and try to imitate conversations. This will help you to gain more confidence, and I'm really sure that it will also help you to express yourself better. Well, I hope this video is helpful for you, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to write them on the comment section, and you can also subscribe to my YouTube channel, or you can follow me on Instagram or Facebook. I will be posting new videos in the next time with more tips for you, and see you next time. Bye bye.